Let me. Okay. So I'm Neha Kapoor and I'm looking after the community. I'm the senior health coach over here at SugarFit. And today we have, uh, come up with the new topic, which is on the liver health, how the liver health helps in reducing your blood sugar levels in your reversal journey. And we all might have been observing a lot of early morning spikes, high fasting sugar readings, unexplained spikes without even eating anything. Sometimes the triglycerides are high, elevated LDL, which is a low density lipids, fatty liver, frequent illness. Here, your liver plays a very important and a very crucial role, as all these plays a very important role. Your liver plays a very important role here to balance and bring a nice, equation between all your hormones and all your body functionings, including your immunity, including your detoxification, including your blood sugar management. So, to uncover all the answers and to help you in uncovering this topic and understanding a lot of facts about the liver health, today we have Veena Singh, coaching lead at SugarFit with over 15 years of experience and an MSc in food and nutrition. She is a powerhouse in health and nutrition. She has worked with UNICEF, CHAI, AIMS, specialized in metabolic disorder, maternal health, and nutrition. She's a lifestyle member of NSI and IDA. Venus has also won a prestigious scholarship in food and nutrition, and we are very happy and very, very proud to welcome her because she's one of the very important pillar of SugarFit, and today she's here with us to help us in understanding this topic. So I would like to welcome Venus. Venus, thank you so much for joining us today,
Thank
and
you, Neha.
I want to give the spotlight to you. So I'm taking the back seat now. Thanks a lot. And if you want me to share the screen, just please do let me know.
Oh, I'll do that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Great. So welcome, Venus. We can, I think, start with the session. We have a good number of audience. People will keep joining in.
Sure. Hi, good morning. Good morning to all of you. I understand it's Sunday and everybody is in a relaxed mode, but it's kind of good. It works in our favor because I feel personally on a Sunday morning, my mind is like more open to new ideas, new concepts because I don't have a schedule running at the back of my mind, and I can patiently listen to something new that I get to learn on this morning. So I usually prefer to listen to a nice podcast in the morning on Sunday, or say to just grasp something, because in the middle of the week we usually cannot really pay attention to a lot of other things because of our schedules. I hope that this session also brings the similar kind of opportunity for all of you to learn something new and interesting. um, so let's start. I'll just present my screen. This is about liver health. We're going to talk about today, but I'm going to cover a lot of slides on fructose, a lot of content on fructose and fructose consumption, because um, in the present population we see a lot of liver parameters being deranged. Like when you do your blood test, if you see your liver function tests are not normal, mostly the cause is the consumption of foods that we have in today's lifestyle, which is fructose rich. And that is why when we talk of liver health in the present scenario, in the current population, it's very important that we discuss how we are, impacting our liver by consumption of certain foods and certain items in our daily diet, which we don't even realize are high in fructose. Okay. And that's why a lot of content on fructose, which is actually also important to us because it increases the triglyceride levels and worsens the diabetic state. It also, you know, is the main cause of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So in the present population, many of us do not take alcohol. Many of you might not be taking alcohol. Still, you have signs and symptoms of deranged liver parameters or liver, uh, you know, non-alcoholic fatty liver stage one, or some changes in the liver parameters. That's mostly because of dietary factors or fructose in our diet. So I just wanted to give this disclaimer because I am going to talk a lot about it. It's very important. Let's just go ahead. I'll present my screen. Let me know if it's visible to you.
Yes, Venus, it's visible.
Is it full screen for you, Neha?
No. We have to present. Have to just
I've
click on
already
the
done
present.
that.
Yes,
I've
now
already
it is visible now.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, so liver, as we were talking about, and we were talking also about fatty liver. I was just telling all of you, मैं आप सबको I'll also speak in Hindi in between. These are the two languages I know. So हमारा liver or our liver is actually the most vital organ, one of the most vital organs. We consider heart as very important. That definitely is the brain, but liver is one of the organs without which we cannot really live. If it's not functioning properly, it is very difficult to survive. So I'll just tell you initially, just to introduce the topic. So liver is an organ which is involved in a lot of important activities. Okay? It helps us in the carbohydrate metabolism. It helps us in detoxification. Also is a main organ that's responsible for bile production, which helps us to metabolize fat in the body. It helps us in storage of vitamins. It helps us in blood clotting, lipid metabolism, which is your fatty acids or lipids that you consume. These are the primary functions of the liver in details. I just wanted to talk about it. I know it's a little technical, but I'll quickly explain you because it's important to understand why we are talking about this vital organ today. So it helps in detoxification, which is one of the primary organs of the body. So, we usually in the present scenario talk about a lot of detox diets, detox drinks, detox supplements. I know all of them are there and some of them might be really helpful, but naturally how God has made us, liver is the primary detoxification organ, and we are capable, if we maintain our lifestyle properly, we are really capable to manage all kind of detoxification internally itself. You don't need a detox drink or a detox diet if you are able to maintain a healthy liver, because it can detox anything and everything that you put in the body. Just that the liver health should be proper, right? Then you don't have to buy liver detoxification supplements or do any detox diet. You just have to work on your liver health. Okay, so that's how we are made. That's how God has made us. So whenever we take alcohol, we take drugs as in we take, medicines. We take fatty acids, steroid hormones, uh, any sort of ammonia comes to us, or environmental toxins that come to our body, any sort of allergens. All of these are entering our body as toxins, and the liver is the primary organ that helps in detoxification. Coming to the next function, metabolism, wherein T4 and T3 are hormones related in our body to thyroid gland, and it helps in the conversion of T4 to T3. So it's really an organ that helps us indirectly in the maintenance of thyroid function, which is again very important function of the body. It helps in the detoxification or metabolism of fat. Immune system, when it comes to immune system, whenever our body is exposed to viruses and pathogens, it helps us in maintaining of the hepatic and portal vein immune system. It helps us in production of certain hormones which are important for our sexual life. It also helps us in metabolism of vitamin D, storage of micronutrients, minerals like copper, zinc, magnesium, iron. It helps us to, work on vitamin D, A, E, K, B12 levels. So I think there is enough function that the liver is performing. There's like too much of it. Another one is storage of glycogen. So, if you're in a fasting state or you've not eaten for a long time, you don't have glucose in your body to survive, then liver, with the help of, breakdown of glycogen, it stores glycogen in the body. It stores, and then it helps us in this process wherein it helps us to provide glucose whenever we are in a fasting state, energy. Okay. Production of bile, I've already mentioned it. That it helps us in production of bile. It helps us in protein synthesis. That's again very important function. you know, blood clotting. We spoke about it, copper bioavailability, a lot of them. So I think I will not get into very technical details because I think you just need to. There's enough said on it that liver is really important and how, and we should learn more about maintaining the health of this organ. That's what we can do. So I already introduced that I will be talking a lot about fructose because with the experience of last so many years and at present, looking at thousands of clients in SugarFit, we see that the liver, parameters from the blood like ALT, AST, they are slightly high. आपने भी देखा होगा अपने reports में कि आप जब liver function test कराते हैं तो कई बार आपके ALT, AST थोड़े से bold में mark होते हैं because they are slightly higher or they're slightly deranged. We also see the ALT-AST ratio, SGPT, SGOT ratio. आपने देखा होगा अपने blood reports में. So we see if this ratio is deranged, then it is an indicator of, and it's a very primary indicator of some kind of liver dysfunction happening. I won't say that these deranged parameters indicate fatty liver because it's not always indicating fatty liver unless we have further confirming scans. But these parameters show us that there is something wrong, right? And we need to correct our lifestyle. And very easily at SugarFit, I've seen that with correction of lifestyle and diet, in the next blood report, we see these parameters normal. So it is possible, quite possible, to maintain your liver health with certain, tips and tricks. Let's learn about those. So here I'm presenting a slide which tells us about comparison between sucrose, glucose and fructose. Why? Because we mostly think that fructose is something which is a form of sugar, and जैसे like we absorb glucose in the body, similar way it would be absorbed. But there's a difference here. Let's just go one by one. Sucrose is basically a disaccharide which is made up of glucose and fructose. Okay, disaccharide मतलब इसमें दो molecules. Okay, di is for two, and it has glucose molecule and fructose molecule. Usually जो हम sugar खाते हैं, जो normal table sugar चीनी हम घर में खाते हैं, that is sucrose. Okay. Coming to glucose, it's a simple monosaccharide. And it's mostly most of the carbohydrates ka building block. It is the basic building block. Like when we talk about our body, we talk about atoms as the basic molecule. So similarly, glucose is the basic molecule of any sort of carbohydrate. And this is actually the body's preferred source of energy. Every cell can utilize glucose easily, and the entire body energy consumption is requirement is dependent on the glucose we provide. Fructose, on the other hand, which I was talking about earlier, is the fruit sugar. It is also a monosaccharide. Now, usually because it's very, very sweet, it is very, very sweeter than sucrose. It's an alternative that's used. So instead of using sucrose, most of the manufacturing companies or say market manufactured products like cold drinks, biscuits, chips, burgers, whatever we talk about, all the market available products in packets or restaurants, these multi fast food chains which have multiple outlets like McDonald's, Burger King, all of these. If we talk about them, their food is really high in fructose. It's a very common commercially available source which is added to most of this food. And that is why I was mentioning earlier that in the present scenario, in today's day, we are already consuming about 15 grams of fructose every day in our lives, through various things we eat or consume. We take bread, we take, various foods. I mean, we just don't even realize it's just present everywhere. I'll show you later how we'll be able to identify it. So now let's talk about the difference, why I say is fructose harmful and it's different because usually glucose is, metabolized by every cell of the body, but fructose is metabolized by the liver. Okay. And when it comes to metabolism of fructose in the liver, there's a special enzyme it has, which is called as glucokinase. Because of that enzyme, it is able to metabolize it, right? Now, whenever the liver metabolizes it, it converts it into fatty acids. And that is why if we consume a diet which is high in fructose, a lot of fructose going into the body will change into fatty acids and it can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver. I hope it was simple. It's little technical, but मैंने बहुत simple तरीके से समझाने की कोशिश की है कि जब हम फ्रक्टोज लेते हैं तो वो हमारा लिवर मेटाबोलाइज करता है और उसको फैटी एसिड में चेंज करता है. अगर हम बहुत हाई फ्रक्टोज डाइट लेते हैं तो नॉन अल्कोहलिक फैटी लिवर डिजीज के चांसेस बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं. बहुत ही सिंपल, राइट? Now, I'm again, reading out almost a similar thing which I just explained. So if you eat more fructose in the diet, there is a higher chance of having high triglycerides and fat deposition in body. Now, I will not, really explain you very technically how these chemical processes happen. Just simple fact. This is how when we eat a lot of packaged foods, प्रोसेस्ड फूड्स, सिंपल सी चीज है. आप मॉर्निंग में चाय के साथ अगर एक बिस्किट भी लेते हैं तो आप फ्रक्टोज से अपने दिन की शुरुआत करें, बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ दीज biscuits, rusks, simple anything that's in a packet will have a fructose in it, right? So this is how when we go through the day, we might have a lot of fructose in our body, and that makes us susceptible to non-alcoholic fatty liver. Also, as I told you, it is involved in high triglycerides. It helps. It is also a precursor for diabetes, obesity, definitely, because a lot of fat deposition is happening in the body, and inflammatory changes in the arteries. So all of this is responsible. I think I see raised hands, but I'll take the questions in the end. I'll just present first and go through it. Then later we can probably discuss. Okay. Now, what is glycogenesis? I was telling you that when the body is in the lack of glucose or there's a long meal hour gap, when we are fasting, हम बहुत टाइम तक नहीं खाना खा पा रहे हैं, तो क्या होता है कि liver हमें help करता है glucose produce करने में. That process is called glycogenesis, right? And it helps us to maintain normal sugar levels. But अगर आपका liver deranged है, आपके liver parameters normal नहीं है, fatty liver हो रहा है, तो और भी difficult हो जाता है with diabetes especially, because आपका chances of being hypoglycemic increases more, because this process is also not functioning properly, and you're not even able to metabolize glucose properly in the body. So I think it becomes a double risk for us. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Now, these are few more functions of the liver. I think just explained in diagrammatic form. So I told you that it helps in lipid metabolism, helps in, it also has a role in production of ketones in the body, excess fat conversion, it helps us in depositing or storage of this fat in the body. Okay. Now, these are the parameters that I was talking about. मैंने आपको अभी बताया था that we look for these parameters when we look for changes in the liver function. आप अपने blood reports में देखोगे liver function test करके जो page होता है, there whenever you do a complete body test, you would be able to see ALT, AST, which is also called as SGPT and SGOT. If you have, these names will also be written. ALP, alkaline phosphatase, and gamma glutamyl transferase, which is GGT levels, and bilirubin, albumin, and total protein. So anywhere, if these parameters are deranged, if these are, above the normal values, then it actually tells us that there is a dysfunction of liver. Okay, these are to look for in your blood reports. That's what I'm telling you. These are the normal values for these liver protein enzymes. But you don't need to remember these values, all of you. Mostly it's mentioned in your blood reports, and it will also indicate if the levels are higher than the normal value. Okay, but these are important to look for if you're looking to identify your liver health. Okay. Coming to the next one, so these are a few functional foods that help in reducing fatty liver and helps in detoxification naturally. First is cruciferous vegetables. What are cruciferous vegetables? ये सारी सब्जियां होती हैं जैसे broccoli, cauliflower, gobi, which is cauliflower, pata gobi, cabbage, then kale. Kale is also kind of leafy green and cruciferous ka mix hai. It has both qualities, and all of these vegetables mostly you're eating are cruciferous vegetables. They are naturally, they have the power to detoxify or say help the liver in maintaining a normal health. Then leafy greens like spinach, palak, methi, fenugreek, sarso, mustard greens, or kale, I said, एनीथिंग एल्स एनीथिंग जिससे जो हरा पत्ता हरी पत्तेदार सब्जियां होती हैं जिसमें हरा पत्ता होता है दोज आर लीफी ग्रीन्स राइट उसमें आप कोई भी पत्ते खा सकते हैं यू कैन हैव ब्रोकली के पत्ते मूली के पत्ते एनी लीव्स ओके all of these leaves are awesome and they are like I suggest yeah you should have one leafy green every day in your diet matlab just include it for various other reasons not only for liver health it is an amazing powerhouse of nutrition I would say. Then nuts and seeds also help in reducing fatty liver and detoxification. I think at SugarFit, most of your coaches would be, requesting you to include nuts and seeds in your diet because we consider them quite helpful in managing blood sugar levels as well because they are a source of healthy fat, and automatically we work on our liver health as well. Then certain functional foods like turmeric and garlic should be included every day in the diet because they have these potent, they have a potent mechanism wherein they help us in reduction of inflammation in the body and reduction of liver inflammation. Okay. Now let's come to certain guidelines and lifestyle habits to optimize liver health. Dietary changes. So let's talk about dietary changes first, and then we'll talk about other lifestyle habits. So usually, if you have a balanced meal, अगर आपकी meal बहुत ही balanced है, it helps in supporting liver health by providing essential nutrients for detoxification and metabolism. Consuming a variety of foods in moderation, usually having a diet that is rich in all the food groups. Like you have cereals, you have pulses, you have fruits, you have vegetables, spices, everything, herbs, even जो आप धनिया, पुदीना, ऐसी छोटी छोटी herbs खाते हैं, they also have a role because these small tiny things also have lot of vitamins and minerals, right? So always have a diet which is home cooked and not coming out of a packet, and you will be able to mostly, so there's nothing very special about it, but it is the only mantra: have home cooked simple food and having lot of food groups in it, and you will be able to really maintain your liver health very well. Okay. Another thing with diet, I was talking about fructose. So I told you that I will take a lot of slides on fructose. Now that comes here. So how do we avoid high fructose in the diet? I already told you about packaged foods. Package से आप कुछ भी निकाल के खाएंगे सब में होगा. वो I think you have understood. Now in case आप वंडर कर रहे होगे कि आज तक आप हर जगह पढ़ रहे थे दैट फ्रूट में फ्रक्टोज होता है. तो अगर आप एप्पल खा रहे हैं या आप ग्रेप्स खा रहे हैं या आप कोई भी फ्रूट खा रहे हैं तो आप तो फ्रक्टोज ले रहे हैं. देन यू मस्ट बी थिंकिंग कि फिर अगर मैं फ्रूट खा रहा हूँ और मैं फ्रक्टोज ले रहा हूँ, देन इफ आई ईट अ लॉट ऑफ फ्रूट्स माई लिवर वुड बी इन डेंजर. So that's not actually 100% true. But if you really eat too many fruits, like you have a plate full of fruits for dinner, or you have a plate full of fruits for breakfast, you think that it's very healthy, but it's actually giving you a lot of fructose in a plate. So fruits are amazing because it has they have fiber, they have vitamins and minerals. I'm not really, saying that fruits are harmful, but we should always limit our intake. So fruit का एक portion हमें daily खाना चाहिए, but एक पूरा plate भर के क्या हम breakfast में we are having एक apple, एक banana, एक orange. मैंने आज यही breakfast किया. मैंने 3 fruits खाए, and some of the clients will come to us and say that मैंने आज 3 या 4 तरह के fruits खा लिए breakfast में और कुछ भी नहीं खाया. And that is not really a good practice, right? Sometimes we feel that अच्छा ठीक है आज से मैं डिनर नहीं करूंगा, मैं रोज रात को बस फ्रूट्स की एक प्लेट खाऊंगा. I'll just have a plate of fruits. That is actually not doing very good to our body. It's actually giving us fructose in a huge quantity together. So always have fruit in between your meals as a snack, like a mid-morning snack around 12 o'clock, or say between your breakfast and lunch, or you can have it between your lunch and dinner in the evening when you feel hungry, say 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, right? So mostly these are the 2 times when we have some snack. So pick up one fruit, maybe one banana. See, if the banana is also very huge, you can pick up half of it or take the smaller elaichi kela, or take a small apple. In fact, whenever you are buying a fruit, always remember to buy smaller sized fruits. Like if you're choosing and selecting your fruit, it is a very good trick that अगर आप जब खरीद रहे हैं अपने फल और बहुत बड़े बड़े बनाना बड़े बड़े एप्पल्स लेके आ रहे हैं तो फिर आपको लगता है वेस्ट हो जाएगा. So always pick up smaller size fruits, which is 150 grams, 200 grams, but the maximum 200 grams, not more than that. Okay, so chota size, 100 grams would be perfect. 100 to 150 is a perfect ideal size. So limit your fruit intake because it's again a form of fructose. And secondly, when we make fruit juice out of fruit, abhi winters and most of the people in the north are getting lot of oranges and quinoa. And I see a lot of clients having orange juice or quinoa juice every day, you know. So they would say and proudly say that we are having this every day because it's freshly available. But that's not really a very good practice because we think that juice is very healthy. बचपन से हमारे दिमाग में होता है, we always are conditioned that when we are sick or when we are ill or see having a glass of juice every day will give us a lot of energy. So basically, that's not the right concept. Always prefer eating a whole fruit over having a glass of juice. हमेशा एक पूरा फल खाइए. Don't have juice because juice जब हम बनाते हैं तो सारा fiber break down हो जाता है. And जब हम उसको छान लेते हैं, it's only the fructose or only the sugar content from the juice that you're taking, and you are really discarding lot of fiber, a lot of vitamins and minerals जो उसके pulp में चले गए. ठीक है, तो वो आप फेंक दे रहे हैं, जो अच्छी चीज है वो आप फेंक दे रहे हैं. So always have a whole fruit instead of having a glass of juice. The second is avoid processed foods. You already know this. I just said that processed foods are the foods that are processed in factories and companies and shops and these fast food chains. All of these people, like whenever we eat a burger outside, a pizza outside, or we eat even a bread or bakery product, a puff, a quiche, anything, all of these are processed foods. Bakery products have very high amount of fructose sugar. So if you are really fond of bakery products, you need to really cut it down. I'm not saying कि आप अपनी सब favorite चीजें खाना छोड़ दीजिए. You can always have most of your favorite things, but you limit the portion sizes. If you have a small portion, you will never, you don't have to cut down any of your favorite things. अगर आप छोटा सा piece कभी कभी खा रहे हैं तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. You can always enjoy your favorite things, but don't have these on daily basis. Okay, daily you are getting a puff or daily you're getting a pastry. That should not happen. Fruit juices, I already spoke about. Candies. Now, candies, lollipops, or say any sort of छोटा सा जो dining table पे हम post lunch, post dinner सोचते कि एक छोटी सी toffee और candy खा लेते हैं. That's very, very high in fructose. Instead of that, आप एक fruit का piece खा लीजिए. अगर आपको, you want to have something else, like of something fruity. Aerated drinks, you all must already know that Coke, Appy Fizz, or Fanta, and all of these cold drinks, in fact, also any sort of packaged fruit juices, or these days we have these flavored waters. Sometimes these flavored waters also have very high amount of fructose in it. Okay, so try to avoid all of these. Many of the cereals that we get in the morning for adding to milk and have it, like for example, Kellogg's or mueslis, these some of the trail mixes also, protein bars, they all have a lot of fructose in it. So anything that's packaged is very, very high in fructose naturally. Flavored yogurts, आप सोचते हैं yogurt बहुत healthy है, जो but market में जो flavored yogurt मिल रहा है, berry yogurt, sounds very healthy, that इसमें तो fruit है और दही है, बहुत अच्छा होगा, but उसमें बहुत सारा fructose डाला रहता है. और usually आप जब packaging पढ़ते हैं, किसी भी सामान के पीछे आप label पढ़ते हैं, अगर आपको HFCS दिखता है, which is high fructose corn syrup, most of the foods factories and manufacturers are adding this component, which is called as HFCS, high fructose corn syrup. पढ़ने में हमें इतना harmful नहीं लगता है, हमें लगता है कि corn का कुछ होगा, but it is really a concentrated source of fructose, which is fructose syrup that's added to the food. Okay. Then sometimes even hidden forms where we think ये खाना मीठा नहीं है, जैसे soup mixes, या for example some of these noodle mixes which have ready-made masala packets in it, all of them also have fructose. So हमें लगता है कि वो नमकीन चीज है, इतनी मीठी नहीं है, but it also has fructose, hidden fructose in it. Okay, so see, these are the top 10 foods which are high in fructose. I wanted to show you mostly a photo so that you register in your mind that these are the foods which are very high in fructose. So dried fruit, ये मैंने पहले miss कर दिया. So you think that these today's in the market you will see there are dried cranberries, dried blueberries, or dried kiwi, dried pineapple, pata nahi kya kya, every fruit is dried and sold, and they market it as very healthy because they say it's fruit, right? But these dried fruits, when they are dehydrated, they become really concentrated source of sugar, and mostly many of these are dipped in fructose syrup to give a nice taste to it. So honey is also very high in fructose. Sometimes we feel that honey is very healthy. So you can still have honey, but don't have more than, half a teaspoon a day. Even if you're diabetic, see the ADA and the IDA guidelines, American Diabetic Association or the Indian Diabetic Association says that in a day you can still have 2.5 grams or say maximum 3-4 grams of sugar. So आप अगर हनी लेना भी चाहते हैं तो आधा चम्मच लीजिए, उससे ज्यादा मत लीजिए, और वो आप ले सकते हैं provided you are maintaining a diet which doesn't have any other form of sugar. You don't have a piece of cake in the afternoon. Then it will be additional, right? So apple pie, which is mostly in bakeries and all, usually has a lot of very high amount of fructose. Sauces, जो pasta sauces market में मिलते हैं, ready-made pasta sauces, which we use to make pasta at home, they have a very high amount of fructose. Sugary soft drinks like cola, and I already named some of them. These are very high. Some of the fruits, for example, pears, are high in fructose, but like I said, the calorie count of fruit is very less. And fruit का एक advantage ये है कि a whole fruit has high fiber, high vitamins, high minerals. So eating a fruit every day is must. It will not harm your liver if you eat a fruit every day, but if you eat 4-5 fruits or a big plate of fruit, it is going to cause a little bit of harm. Okay. Sweetened fruit yogurt. I spoke about it already. These blueberry yogurts and the strawberry yogurts, mango yogurt. There are a lot in the market now. Very, very exciting range of fruit yogurts, but they are very high in fructose. If you want to buy fructose from outside, or if you want to buy yogurt from outside, then always go for plain unsweetened Greek yogurt, which can be a very good travel friendly snack where you cannot really buy anything from the market. अगर आप पैकेट वाला कुछ खरीद के कभी आपके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है, तो always buy the unsweetened Greek yogurt, या फिर normal packet दही, या फिर buttermilk. You can pick up all of these, right? Burger King's Whopper burger, which is very popular among many people, is one of the very high fructose burger, and it also has 790 calories. So, we think that burger might not have sugar, but it has a very high amount of fructose in it. Okay? So some of the salty things, जो हम savory foods हैं, जो हम सोचते हैं कि ये मीठे नहीं हैं, but we are getting fooled by it because they are hidden in form of fructose, right? Salad dressings, market में हम जा रहे हैं, restaurant में जा रहे हैं, we're ordering salads thinking it's very healthy, but when as soon as we add the dressing to it, like sweet onion sauce on Subway, again has fructose in it. So things like these which are hidden form, but you would not really realize. Okay. These are also some of the names which I think you all should take a screenshot and keep with you. Whenever you're reading the food labels, you should always keep these these names in your mind. These are hidden names of sugar. So sugar coating, there are more than 60 different names on the slide for added sugar, which don't say sugar, but you feel that this is something else like oat syrup. Now you will feel that it is made out of oat. It is made out of caramel. There is there's honey to add it to it. There is a fruit paste added to the food. Fruit paste तो आपको लग रहा होगा कि बहुत healthy. But fruit paste is something again which is very high in fructose. So these here I'm displaying a huge list of names on my screen, which actually are the ways manufacturers find to fool us by adding sugar to it, but not actually adding the name of sugar. And very proudly these manufacturers and packaging people will market it as no white sugar added or no simple sugar added, or पीछे fruit paste होगा, fruit puree होगा, or there will be honey, there would be oat syrup, molasses. हमें लगेगा कि इसमें sugar नहीं है, but ये सारे forms लिखे हुए हैं, but these are beet sugar. Like you will see it's from beetroot. How is it going to harm me? But that is the way they, we get fooled, and then we actually, like I told you, that in the present diet, we are almost taking 15 grams of sugar, 15 grams of fructose every day, but we don't even realize it. It's just coming into our food from extremely wide array of foods, and we just don't, even realize it. Again, another slide on some of the names of uh, you know sources which actually are very high in fructose. Pancake syrup, lactose. ये जो chocolate dressing आता है, which is Hershey's, which is very very popular in children. I really feel to say that we should not even allow our children to have it, because again that's also very high in fructose. Nutella, these pancake syrups, or Hershey's chocolate syrup, strawberry syrup, all of these are very high in fructose. Okay. Fruit juices, I think date syrup. Now we feel that dates are again quite healthy. So eating a date is still fine, one or two maybe still be okay. But if you eat a lot of dates, again, those are very high in fructose. But a date syrup is completely sugar extracted from the dates, right? So not healthy. Okay, so this was all about food, how you can maintain a diet that is low in fructose, which is healthy for your liver, and how you can have normal diet, which is high in nuts and seeds, cruciferous vegetables, leafy greens, and a lot of good foods, which are good and helpful for our liver. Okay. Now, after talking about diet, what else can we do to actually maintain our liver health? Regular physical activity. Okay. So aim for a good physical activity routine, at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise on most of the days of the week. For example, swimming, or say climbing stairs, cycling. You can do variety of smaller things. You need not go to the gym always, but things that help us move. It could be as simple as taking 12 floors of stairs instead of taking lift in your apartment building. Okay. But to ensure basic, simple ways, you just stay active all day, and that would also maintain your liver health very well. Okay. Staying hydrated, drinking at least 3 to 4 liters of water per day. Of course, in peak winters, you can come to a lower amount of, water consumption. You can stick to 2 liters also. That's fine. But if it's summer and if the temperatures are high, then stick to 3 to 4 liters. Uh, you should avoid, getting yourself dehydrated by using alcohol and caffeine. I think this is nothing new. You all know that alcohol and caffeine is harmful for your liver. Everybody knows it. And I'm just kind of putting it down on the screen again. Okay. Alcohol consumption, definitely. I was talking about non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which wherein fructose is one of the primary, causes of it, or a very high fat diet and sedentary lifestyle, no physical activity. All of that can cause non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. But if you take alcohol, you just add it to it. So, for example, you are a person who sits for more than 5 hours a day, and is somehow eating a diet which is being ordered or eating from packets, and then you, on the top of it, you take alcohol also, then I think your liver would be really puzzled that maybe you're just really burdening our liver with something which can lead to fatty liver, hepatitis, and something as serious as liver cirrhosis. Okay. Now, some of these toxins, alcohol, I already spoke about, but sometimes when you are doing, like, people engaging in farms and farming, or you are doing even gardening, but you are using harmful chemicals, very harmful chemicals and pesticides, then you should always limit your exposure to these, because again, they can be very harmful to the liver. High dosage of medicine. So if you are someone who pop a pill every time you have body ache, every time you're taking paracetamol, या छोटा सा भी कहीं infection हो गया, you're taking an antibiotic easily. Like if you're someone who takes an antibiotic course every month, I know some people do that. They just, any infection, they want to take antibiotic for 5 days and they're done. But you have to realize how harmful it is for your liver. So don't take drugs or medications which are not prescribed by the doctor, and which are, you just, because in India, it's very easy to get off counter medications. You can just go buy antibiotics yourself, or you can go buy paracetamol, and you can go buy, this Dolo, which people take for body ache and etc. So just don't go ahead and pop a pill, because you are burdening your liver. Every time you pop a pill, you actually are, your liver is working to detoxify it, but it will also get tired if you overburden. Okay, if you stay close to an industry where the water could have industrial waste, or there is high amount of toxin exposure, if you work in an industry where you feel that there are a lot of toxins around you in your environment, I think that can also cause harm to the liver, and can initiate liver disease. So we have to be conscious about it. Now, stress management. See, stress is definitely one of the causes that is, again, harmful for most of our organs in the body. It actually triggers diabetes, liver disease, inflammation. A lot of things, are related to how much of stress we take. How can we reduce it? Practice yoga and meditation. It will help you, improve your strength, your mindfulness, and of course, I think reducing stress levels and practicing yoga and meditation not only helps in mental health, but it helps you in making good decisions about your food. It helps you in making good decisions about your lifestyle, because mentally you're feeling strong enough to, say no to something that's harmful to your body. So that's one of the advantages of staying mentally fit. Okay, because you are more mindful of your choices. Spending time in nature, whenever you get time, step out, walk in the grass, go out for a walk in the nature, touch plants, flowers, leaves. Try to spend some time in nature. It has an amazing effect on your mind. And like I said, it will help in more mindfulness and relaxing your body, reducing the cortisol levels in your body. Breathing exercises, I think many a times, many of our sessions cover it, that breathing exercises have an immense effect on your body. It will really help your body metabolize most of the nutrients properly, and helps in our nervous system health. So I think I don't have to say much about it. Everyone knows that it is amazing. Okay. Good sleep. Sleep hygiene is important to maintain your blood sugar levels, as well as it's very crucial for your liver health. It allows for detoxification, metabolism, regeneration of body tissues. Lack of sleep can impact these processes. If you don't sleep very well, your liver health can suffer because of that as well, because most of the organs do not function, and the repair work happens properly from around 11 p.m. in the night, mostly as per our circadian rhythm. But if you're sleeping, very, very late, then you miss that time of repair and recovery that happens during our sleep. So try to, eat your dinner very early and get to bed early, because that's going to, help your body regenerate when you are taking a sound sleep. That's all. I think I just will stop sharing.
Thank you so much, Venus. I think it was very well and very easily explained. It was flawless. I hope everyone agrees with me. So thank you so much for an enlightening session, and the insights that you have shared today. It was very valuable, and we really appreciate how you have shared your knowledge and wisdom with everyone. Looking for many more sessions like this. And before we move ahead, I would like to take a couple of questions. They are there in the chat section. Do you want to take a break to drink water or something? Or we can take the questions. Am I audible? Venus, you can hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So there are a lot of questions that, how can we treat the fatty liver? So I think many of the suggestions have already been shared by Venus, but any two tips that you would like to give to the users?
So, fatty liver, see, if it's alcoholic fatty liver, then they automatically know what you need to do. But if it's non-alcoholic fatty liver, then, like I said, reducing the consumption of packaged foods or processed foods, bakery items, excess amount of fruits or fruit juices, all of this can trigger the non-alcoholic fatty liver, clubbed with sedentary lifestyle and lack of activity. So you need to really, our body also performs the function of detoxification much well if we are physically active. So I think both of these two tips are primary to remember.
Absolutely, Venus. Well said. And there is another question that what are triglycerides?
So I want to explain it very simply and not very technically. So when you get your blood reports, in your lipid section, you will see certain parameters. See, one is LDL, HDL, VLDL, triglycerides. So you see all of these parameters there, and there, if you see, a deranged level of triglyceride, it means that you are really consuming a very high amount of fructose in your diet. And like I said, liver, when, is metabolizing this, there are a lot of triglycerides and fatty acids produced. So whenever liver is metabolizing fructose, so in case you are having a lot of very high fructose diet, in that case, your body will have very high level of triglycerides. I hope I just explained it very simply. And if a level of triglycerides are very high, they correlate very well with your high uric acid levels, high lactic acid levels in the body, high amount of inflammation, and it's also a very very important indicator for deranged diabetes, not managed diabetes.
Absolutely, Venus. Venus, next question is by Satvik. That can we consume spicy or the chili food or chili powder on a regular basis? Or are they have do they have any role in increasing the phytic acid if we consume a lot of nuts, chili food, or garlic powder?
So see, I feel that anything in excess is harmful. So everybody knows that even chili or garlic or even nuts, which I just said that they're very healthy and they help to detoxify. But even if you eat a huge amount of nuts, it's not going to do justice. So chili itself is not very, very harmful. You can have green chili, black pepper, even red chili, that's fine. But always having a limited quantity of these foods will not have any impact on your phytic acid levels. But anything in excess is bad. I think it's as simple
Absolutely.
as
And
that.
phytic acid is more in the nuts and seeds. So if you soak them, and even in
Yeah,
the legumes and the pulses, if you soak them well and consume it, you won't face any such problem. So I think
correct.
this is something that we need to focus a bit more on.
We can practice. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Apart from that, there is like, yeah, coconut water again. I think Venus has covered major part of it, like the simple carbs. Anything which is in excess is bad. Sugarcane juice, absolutely we should avoid.
Very
It's
high amount of
sugar.
fructose. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, Venus, there is another question. What is your take on the black coffee? Is it good or dehydrating? Like nowadays, lot of speakers are coming up and talking that coffee actually dehydrates and suppress your metabolism. So what do you feel about it? What is the best practice?
See, as long as you're not having coffee concoction that's prepared in the market and you're having something as well, some a black coffee made out of the filter coffee concoction, it has some useful phytochemicals and it doesn't really harm that much. There are few studies that tell us that they dehydrate and have certain harmful effects. It increases the blood pressure or it increases your heart rate, things like that. Some people are really not able to, some bodies are not really able to respond very well to black coffee. But there are also tons of research studies which say that the phytochemicals in the coffee beans are useful to our body, right? So there is both kind of researches. Now, I have a very neutral take to this because in case you feel, see, if I have black coffee, I sometimes get stomach cramps. So I feel that that's an indication that it doesn't really work for me, right? But if you can tolerate it very well and you don't feel that you're feeling very hyper, or you can really sense it, your body really tells you the signs and symptoms. If you don't have a headache after it, or if you don't have any sort of stomach cramps, or immediately you'll have to use the loo after having black coffee. People have these experiences, right? So if you have those kind of indications that your body is giving you, please don't have it. But if you feel you can easily tolerate it, then of course, like I said, everything is bad. So having a cup will not harm you. Okay. So you can still have it. And as long as you're having 2 to 3 liters of water, it should not dehydrate you. But if you have like 6, 7 cups of black coffee, definitely it's going to harm. No, no double thoughts about it.
Absolutely. There's a very, very good question by Vishal that doctor recommends to reduce weight for fatty liver. What is your thought on this?
Yeah, definitely. So, see, I think it's like a vicious cycle. whenever we eat a very high fat diet, liver metabolizes it, converts it into fatty acids and triglycerides, and helps our body store fats. With time, our size of our fat cells keeps increasing, and it keeps storing more and more fat, and we it leads to obesity. But when you actually start fasting or working out or work on your weight reduction, your body breaks down the fat. And when you are breaking down the fat, it's kind of helping your liver, because it doesn't have to work on maintaining your body with such high amount of weight, and detoxify, because whenever we are obese, there are so many toxins, so many inflammatory products getting released in the body. So it really burdens the liver, and that is why, in very simple language, if you lose weight, your liver doesn't have to overwork, same as similar to how we make our pancreas overwork when we are overweight or obese. That is why doctors recommend it, and yeah, they are right about it.
Thank you so much, Venus. I think we have covered almost all the questions. So I just want to quickly give you a recap. Many people have been asking again. Please, yes, fat loss is very important in, uh, reversing your fatty liver disease. Again, alcohol, please have in moderation. If you have a grade 2, grade 3, please avoid it. It's best to avoid it. There is no permissible amount if you are 30 or 60 ml. It's good to avoid it until and unless your liver is back in form. And then you can restart with, in a small quantity with your doctor's permission. So there is no. And green tea is, yes, we can start with the green tea. And as Venus said, it's like, fruits or even the coconut water, anything in moderation, if you're taking, it's not harmful. But if you're everyday consuming dates, you're consuming raisins, lot of fructose from simple carbs, then definitely it is going to impact your liver and leading to high triglycerides levels, disturbs your LDL, your liver functioning, and unnecessary release of extra glucose from your liver. So many people, Venus, I just wanted to highlight one more point. We often get to see that lot of, free glucose in the morning, which people are always very, surprised about that. How come the body is releasing glucose in the morning, although my post dinner readings were within the permissible range of 100 or 120, but morning it increases to 200, sometimes even more than that.
So, see, it's not about only your post dinner readings. Your fasting is really it shows you a mirror, or it is a reflection of your entire last 24 to 48 hours, I would say, not only your post dinner values. So, if a very simple statement I would give you, if you monitor your post meal values 3 times a day for 7 days a week, and you see your 21 readings are less than 140, even if that happens, I mean, if that is the case and still you see your fasting is very high, then probably we can term it as what we call dawn or somogi. But uh, if your fasting, if your blood sugar values post meals are not normal, say even if it was 2 days ago post lunch you had a very high, like it was Sunday, you went out for lunch and you had a meal that was high in carbohydrates, you had a biryani or very high amount or lot of dosas, etc., whatever, I mean, which led to your post meal values being 200 plus, or say 190 plus, or even 160, 170 plus, then that can have an impact on the next day's fasting. It can also have an impact on the next to next day's fasting, because overall, how we do, it doesn't really immediately show up. How we do throughout the last 48 hours, last 24 to 48 hours reflects on our fasting levels. So, and it can also be stress. Say sometimes you have not slept well, sometimes you have high amount of anxiety, stress, or disturbed sleep. All of these can have an impact of your on your fasting. So it's not only the post dinner value, it is a lot more than that.
Thank you so much, Venus. I think very well explained, and people are also loving the information being shared in today's session. It was very insightful, very helpful, and I think most of your answers have been, answered. Well, most of the questions have been answered today. So you people have a lot of queries related to the fat metabolism, related to fatty liver. I think now you can understand it from the depth that what exactly is the root cause, and thanks to Venus for explaining it so well. I hope you all go through the recording also once and understand the minuteness and the minute, pointers being shared to understand and rework on your lifestyle once again. Few things. Many people have been asking that how to reduce the weight. So please ensure that you are not having too much of fructose-rich food. You are taking care of your exercise part. Don't miss on the exercises. One thing which is most compromised, and people have been coming to me and asking me, okay, I'm 60 and I have been asked not to exercise. But well, there is no age for exercise. There is no age to start with the exercising. Please don't listen to all these comments until unless it is coming from your doctor, or if you have major injury. Please focus and start with the basic exercises, and I'm sure you will really live up to the better quality of life, and you will increase your life expectancy. Thanks a lot, Venus. Anything that you want to share, any message that you want to give to all our warriors?
I think I'm very happy to see the response on the chat. I was just going through the messages, and I'm thankful to all of you. You took out time on a Sunday and were present here. We saw an attendance of over 220 people joining us, which was great. So yeah, thanks to all of you for taking out time.
Thank you, Venus. Thanks everyone for joining us on Sunday morning, and it was a wonderful, time spent with each one of you. Stay tuned to Premium Group and keep joining us for all these webinars. I just want to just inform you that next Sunday session, which is actually happens at 11 a.m., will be from 5 to 6 on 5 to 6 p.m. on Saturday evening. So please make a note of it. Last session, generally we keep a session on from 11 to 12, but next Sunday session will be preponed to Saturday. I will give you all the details on the Premium Group. So please stay tuned over there. Thank you, Venus. Thank you so much for this session. And I think the comments and the compliments on the chat says it all.
Yeah,
Looking forward for more and more sessions by you, Venus. So please keep coming more often and sharing your knowledge with each one of us. Thanks a lot.
sure. Thank you so much.